Hi, this is Sive Morten with the daily update on EuroFX. I post my exclusive market overviews with the key political and economical events, charts and important levels on the ForexPeaceArmy.com forums weekly. This short video is a response to rapidly changing situation on the currency markets and should help you to stay on top of the game and be profitable. I suggest you to visit ForexPeaceArmy.com forum and read my analysis for the week before watching this daily video.
Welcome back, everybody. Now let's have a look on the Bitcoin market. So here actually on Bitcoin, the longer term chart much more interesting than intraday in the daily chart. What is particularly interesting? So on the daily chart, on the monthly chart, if you remember, we traded for a couple of months this upper direction and successfully has reached our target. It's challenging of the top, which is actually was the target of this grabber, and successfully is done. But as we discussed last time, then there are two major scenarios stand with a possible next step. For the first point of view, we could get straightforward upper continuation right to the target, right? So it might be the extension here. In other points of view, that before this extension, we could get some pullback, and then it's the further upper direction could follow. That's the major riddle for now. On the monthly chart, in general, the situation stands in favor for the first scenario. Why? Because here we have the reaction on the major target of this ABCD pattern, right? Retracement has happened, market is not at overbought. Here we would not have any big resistances, so it could really keep going from the technical point of view right to this area. This first moment, second moment, in the scale of the monthly chart, you could see that even minor bounce here, it makes no actual impact on the overall picture, it's too small. For us, it will be big because it's almost 15,000 Bitcoin. But here on the monthly, it's a really minor pullback that makes no actually changes. But if you take a look on the weekly chart, you could see that market stands at overbought. And based on this picture, it's hardly a straight upward breakout is possible in the current situation. So when the market stands at the overbought, it is limited with this upside potential. Performance on the last week also points that chances on this pullback are not really small. The appearing of the hand shoulders right on top, it's really great pattern to have. And last week you could see that we have indecision action, some kind of the high wave pattern or something. That market has completed the COP target that we mentioned. So we said take a look at the 111.50. This is the nearest target of the COP of this ABCD pattern, and also agrees with the daily weekly overbought, and that might be potential the point where this pullback will start. So this is actually what we will be busy with in the nearest few weeks. So our task is to estimate whether we will get this right shoulder or not. On the daily chart right now, it's difficult to say definitely, but the performance on the last few sessions stands in favor of this scenario, because market already dropped below the previous tops. So if you remember last time we said let's give market some time, see what will happen around the top. If market will stubbornly stand above them, showing tight consolidation, that will be bullish sign, and that increases chances that we could go right to the nearest daily target around 118 and potential to the next target on the monthly chart. But here you could see that sell-off was relatively sharp. So we can see this drop, market mostly engulfed two previous sessions and dropped below the top, which is potentially, if even it doesn't promise the too deep retracement here, back to the 92, right? Although it is potentially possible. At least in the shorter term, this type of action suggests that some extension on the intraday chart might happen. In fact, on intraday charts, we do not see anything special yet. No head and shoulders, is nothing really clear. So potentially, for instance, if we will see further downside action, you could see that we could imagine some kind of the hand and shoulders here, right? So that might be kind of the shoulder, the head. If market drop back to the 101 area, it might be starting of another shoulder. And in these cases, definitely will be in the favor of this scenario with the hand shoulders. But for now, it is too few time passed. And the one thing that we could consider for starting of the beginning of the next week, it's possible downside momentum continuation just based on recent sell-out that has happened. It has two targets. Nearest one stands 104.30. So this potential ABCD pattern that could be completed. And then we will see what will happen. So for now, I wouldn't consider taking new long position because reaction on Friday and on general last week, it doesn't look really very bullish. And I would wait and see what will happen at least in a few sessions in the next week. What particular scenario will be confirmed. So we need some clarity. I mean, give market some time to clarify the next step. So that actually towards what we have. On the hourly chart, I do not see anything. It's only that market is returning back in the broken channel. So you can see that it stands inside of it already as potentially open road for the further downside action inside of it. But it mostly stands in the same context as performance on the 4-hour time frame chart on the 2-hour chart. So let's see what will happen. Currently, I wouldn't consider any new longs. If you would like to short this, you could theoretically try to do this, but for the truth's sake, you could see that we also do not have yet any clear setups on the short side, except maybe this daily bearish engulfing pattern. So you could act only based on this pattern, with the stops somewhere above the C points, or maybe better initial stop to place above. So if you calculate, here's the upside ABCD, because it might be compounding retracement. So for instance, if you'll get something like this, you could place stop slightly above this area initially. But something tells me that more chances that we will get simple ABCD pattern here. So that in towards what we have on the Bitcoin market, only minus stops for trading. Daily context remained bearish because we have the bearish MACD, and market is not at a result. That's why we're not considering any longs by far. And the only pattern that we could work with now is this actually intraday ABCD pattern.